Have you ever considered if it's really that important what game system you buy? As a general answer to the question, it really depends on what you are looking for in a gaming experience. The best game system for you is the one that meets your specific needs and preferences. Here, I'll go over the top 10 reasons to consider. The first reason is the game selection. The game library of a game system is one of the most important factors to consider when buying a new console or gaming platform. If a system doesn't offer the games you want to play, then it won't matter how powerful or feature-rich it is, it simply won't be the right fit for you. When considering a game library, it's important to look at both the quality and quantity of games available. Some systems may have a smaller selection of games, but they may be of a higher quality or have a more dedicated fan base. Other systems may have a large library of games, but not all of them will be to your liking. Another thing to consider is the type of games you like to play. For example, if you're a fan of first-person shooters, you'll want to look for a system with a strong selection of FPS games. If you prefer open-world games, then you'll want to look for a system with games that fit that genre. Take the time to research the available games and genres to find a system that offers the games you want to play. The second reason is graphics and performance. These are important factors to consider when buying a game system, especially if you're interested in playing the latest and most visually stunning games. To experience the best graphics possible, you'll want a system that has the hardware capabilities to handle the latest games and their graphics requirements. This includes a powerful processor, graphics card, and plenty of RAM and storage space. When looking at a system's performance, it's important to consider factors like loading times, frame rates, and overall stability. You'll want a system that can load games quickly and smoothly, with minimal lag or stuttering. High frame rates are also important for smooth gameplay, especially in fast-paced games where quick reflexes are crucial. A system with a high refresh rate monitor can also improve the gaming experience by providing a smoother and more responsive display. Another factor to consider when it comes to performance is the ability to run games at high resolutions, such as 4K. Not all systems have the capability to run games at these high resolutions, so if this is important to you, make sure to check the system specifications before making a purchase. The third reason is exclusives. Exclusive games are games that are only available on one gaming system or platform. This means that if you want to play those games, you'll need to own the system they're available on. For example, if you're a fan of the Uncharted series, you'll need to own a PlayStation system, as those games are only available on PlayStation consoles. Exclusive games can be a major factor in deciding which gaming system to purchase, especially if you're a fan of a particular franchise or developer. If you're someone who really loves the Halo franchise, for example, then you'll need to own an Xbox system to play those games. Similarly, if you're a fan of the Legend of Zelda series, then you'll need to own a Nintendo system to play those games. When considering a system's exclusive games, it's important to look at the quality and popularity of those games. If a system has a lot of exclusive games, but none of them are particularly popular or critically acclaimed, then it may not be worth investing in that system just for the exclusive titles. However, if a system has a strong lineup of exclusive games that are well loved by fans and critics alike, then it may be worth considering that system as an option. Exclusive games can also be a major selling point for a system, as they can help to differentiate it from other competing systems. For example, if two systems have similar hardware capabilities and game libraries, but one has a lot of exclusive titles that the other doesn't have, then that may be the deciding factor for some gamers. The fourth reason is online features. If you're interested in playing games online with others, then it's important to consider the online features and player base of the gaming system you're interested in purchasing. First and foremost, you'll want to make sure that the system has the necessary online features to support online gaming. This includes things like online multiplayer modes, matchmaking systems, voice chat, and friend lists. Not all gaming systems are created equal when it comes to online features, so it's important to do your research to make sure that the system you're interested in has the features you need to enjoy online gaming. Another important factor to consider is the size and activity level of the player base on the system you're interested in. Online gaming is all about playing games with other people, so it's important to make sure that there are enough players on the system to ensure that you can find games quickly and easily. Some gaming systems have larger player bases than others, and this can make a big difference in terms of the availability and quality of online gaming experiences. You'll also want to consider the types of games that are popular on the system you're interested in. Different gaming systems tend to attract different types of gamers, and this can affect the types of games that are popular on each system. If you're interested in playing a particular type of game online, like first-person shooters or MOBAs, then it's important to make sure that there are enough players on the system you're interested in to support those types of games. The fifth reason is cost. Game systems can vary significantly in price, and it's important to consider your budget when deciding which system to purchase. Game consoles can range from affordable to very expensive, and it's important to balance the cost of the system with the features and capabilities you're looking for. One important factor to consider is the long-term value of the system. While a less expensive system may seem like a better deal in the short term, it may not have the same features or capabilities as a more expensive system. It's important to consider the features that are important to you, and how much you're willing to spend to get those features. Another important factor to consider is the overall cost of ownership. This includes not just the cost of the system itself, but also the cost of games, accessories, and online subscriptions. Some systems may have lower upfront costs but require expensive accessories or subscriptions to access all of the features you want. When considering your budget, it's important to be realistic about how much you're willing to spend on a gaming system. If you're on a tight budget, then a more affordable system may be the best option for you. However, if you're willing to invest in a more expensive system, you may be able to access more advanced features and capabilities that can enhance your gaming experience. The sixth reason is future-proofing. When considering which gaming system to purchase, it's important to think about the longevity of the system. Specifically, will the system be able to handle future games and updates? Game systems are constantly evolving, and new games and updates are released on a regular basis. If you purchase a system that is not capable of handling future games and updates, you may find yourself needing to purchase a new system sooner than you would like. One way to gauge the longevity of a system is to look at its hardware specifications. A system with more powerful hardware, such as a faster processor and more memory, may be better equipped to handle future games and updates than a system with less powerful hardware. It's also important to consider the manufacturer's track record for supporting their systems. Some manufacturers may release regular updates and patches to address issues and improve performance, while others may be less proactive in supporting their systems. This can impact the lifespan of the system and its ability to handle future games and updates. The seventh reason is the controller and user interface. When selecting a gaming system, it's important to consider the controller and user interface of the system. The controller is the primary way you will interact with the system and the games you play, so it's important to choose a controller that is comfortable and easy to use. Different systems have different types of controllers, each with their own unique features and design. Some controllers may be larger or heavier than others, and some may have additional buttons or features that can enhance your gaming experience. It's important to consider the size and shape of the controller and whether it feels comfortable in your hands, as well as any additional features or buttons that may be important to you. In addition to the controller, it's also important to consider the user interface of the system. This includes the menu system, navigation options, and overall layout of the system. You want to choose a system that has an intuitive and easy-to-use interface, so that you can quickly and easily navigate through menus, select games, and access the features you want. Some systems may offer additional features to enhance the user interface, such as voice commands, touch screens, or motion controls. These features can make it even easier to interact with the system and games and may be important to consider when making your purchase. The eighth reason is backwards compatibility. When choosing a gaming system, it's important to consider whether it is backwards compatible with older games. Backwards compatibility refers to the ability of a system to play games from previous generations. If you have older games that you want to play, choosing a system with backwards compatibility can be a big advantage. Backwards compatibility can take a few different forms. Some systems allow you to play older games from physical discs, while others may offer digital downloads of older games. Some systems may also have a subscription service that includes a library of older games. It's important to note that not all gaming systems offer backwards compatibility. Some systems may only be able to play games from the current generation, which means you may need to keep your older system to play older games. If you have older games that you want to play, it's important to research whether the system you are interested in is backwards compatible with those games. You can typically find this information on the manufacturer's website or by speaking with customer support. The ninth reason is virtual reality. VR gaming is a relatively new and rapidly growing segment of the gaming industry. If you're interested in VR gaming, it's important to choose a gaming system that is compatible with VR headsets and has the necessary hardware capabilities to support this technology. VR headsets are the primary interface used in VR gaming. They typically include displays, motion sensors, and other features that allow you to immerse yourself in a virtual environment. Different VR headsets may have different requirements in terms of hardware and connectivity, so it's important to choose a gaming system that is compatible with the headset you want to use. In addition to compatibility with VR headsets, it's also important to consider the hardware capabilities of the gaming system itself. VR gaming typically requires more processing power and graphics capability than traditional gaming, so you want to choose a system that is capable of handling the demands of VR gaming. Some key hardware features to look for when choosing a gaming system for VR include a powerful graphics card, a high-performance processor, and plenty of memory and storage space. You may also want to consider the system's connectivity options, such as USB ports and HDMI outputs, to ensure that you can easily connect your VR headset and other peripherals. The 10th reason is brand loyalty. Brand preference is a factor that can influence a gamer's decision to buy a particular game system. If you have had positive experiences with a particular brand or company in the past, you may be more likely to stick with that brand when considering a new game system. Brand preference can be based on a variety of factors, such as previous experiences with a particular brand, familiarity with the brand's interface and controller, or loyalty to a certain brand due to marketing or advertising efforts. For example, if you've been playing games on a PlayStation for years and have had a positive experience with the system, you may be more likely to stick with that brand when considering a new system. However, it's important to note that brand preference shouldn't be the only factor to consider when choosing a game system. It's also worth considering that brand loyalty can be limiting. By being too focused on a particular brand, you may miss out on other game systems that may be a better fit for your needs and preferences. It's important to keep an open mind and consider all options before deciding. Once you've decided on a game system to buy, it's time to start looking at the games themselves. One thing to consider is whether you want to play the original version of a game or a newer version, such as a remake, remaster, or reboot. These updated versions of games can provide a fresh experience for both new and old fans of a game. Additionally, they can offer improvements in graphics, gameplay mechanics, and storylines, which can enhance your overall gaming experience. To take a closer look at the differences between these different versions of games, click on the next video.